Welcome back, wrestling fans. Mike Hosier here with the WrestlePool YouTube channel, and we are live as Darby Allin is on the mic post AEW Revolution, having the Greensboro crowd show major love to Sting, and conventional wrestling wisdom need not apply for the main event of AEW Revolution. The man is retiring. So let's keep the World Tag Team Championships on him because that makes any sense whatsoever. All right, so let's get into it. Right now we're kind of listening to Sting wrap up his comments.
I've been thanking you all since March of 1988.
It's amazing how much of Sting's makeup is still on during this match. Normally he loses most of his makeup.
Still here, but thank you, Rick. Greensboro.
We did a video not too long ago, and I had referenced Darby Allin and the idea that less is more, and I guess it didn't get through. And unfortunately for that young man, what he does, I know it creates moments and memories, and there were moments and memories that I watched when I was young. Most notably like Mick Foley flying off the cage and whatnot. But in today's day and age where wrestling careers can last for so long, I just don't know how many more of these moves Darby Allin has left in him to do. And it's really unfortunate that he feels the need to constantly do this. And it's not once in a great blue moon. It's all the time that Darby Allin feels the need to do this. This match was an absolute catastrophe. I mean, I'm sorry, this main event was an absolute catastrophe. To me, this was not the ribbon on the night that I thought this was going to be for AEW Revolution. Up until this point, I'm sitting here going, AEW's back. AEW was positioning themselves out of this pay-per-view to do something great. And we're going to go over all the matches. And I mean, look at Darby Allin's back. It's just not necessary, ladies and gentlemen. It's not necessary. And I know for you who likes that kind of stuff, who will remember this for a long time, more power to you. Just one person's opinion. I mean, my co-host is next door, Bear, and he's like, nah, I'm not going on. I don't want to talk about this type of stuff. So he's next door getting ready for whatever he has to do tomorrow. And I'm here going live because I want to talk about the rest of the card. And now the crowd chanting, "You still got it." I'll tell you what, there is something special about a sold-out AEW show. This crowd has been on fire from the pre-show all the way through the main event. They have been waiting for this moment to show Sting love. And I think that's it. And now we have internet connectivity issues. And they go off the air with the mics. I'll tell you what, man. There are things I just don't get. All right, we're not going to spend too much time on that match. Don't expect me to explain to you, the wrestling fan, why a retiring man still holds a belt. I'll leave that for the fine people at AEW or do they still do media scrums in AEW after the whole Punk brawl and whatnot? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Tony Khan will shed some creative genius as to why someone who's retired effectively right now. He is now retired. It's midnight. It's Monday, March 4th. Happy Monday, everyone. Sting is still a tag team champion in retirement. So be that as it may, the crowd showed love to the Stinger, and we are going to move on with the rest of the card. The triple threat, I was wrong. Samoa Joe, in fact, retained in a very physical match. I'm a little confused on Hangman beating up all the refs. That's new. Really thought there was a moment here for Swerve to catapult himself as the top guy as we move into the next phase of AEW wrestling, in my opinion. And I guess there's still more work to be done with Samoa Joe. They've announced AEW Dynasty as the next pay-per-view, April 21st, St. Louis. So I'm assuming he'll have another title defense there, but it just feels like tonight was a missed opportunity. Joe delivers every time. He's solid. Not questioning Samoa Joe at all. Hangman was great. Swerve is his normal self. It was a good match. It was a high-quality match. The three men delivered. Very physical. Lots of great spots in the match. Nothing crazy. Again, besides Darby Allin, the entire night was crisp, solid, clean, good to great wrestling. Good to great wrestling the entire night. I was ready to come on here and sing Revolution's praises, minus the main event. So the triple threat, Samoa Joe retains. Very impressed with that match. The women's title match, I like the Toni Storm gimmick. I love the character. I do not like her in-ring work at all. Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuoso, Purrazzo. I heard her name, but I keep getting it wrong. Tony's in-ring work, not the best. Deonna, absolutely, stud. She'll be a major player in the women's division, but Toni Storm retains. And the highlight was the opening. Mariah May coming out dressed as old school Toni Storm. Had me completely fooled. Totally thought Toni Storm reverted back to old school just to face the virtuoso. But it was Mariah May, and then Toni Storm came out as the timeless one. And Luther looking like the main villain from Echo, played his role. He always plays his role very well. Good match, solid match, but Toni Storm's in-ring work leaves something to be desired from a world champion, in my opinion. But solid, and you can see that Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuoso, she'll be around for a long time, and she will be a world champion. She is excellent and representing Hackettstown, New Jersey. New Jersey strong. We love to see that. Now, in the pre-show, I said my main prediction tonight was that the Undisputed Kingdom needed to have a strong night to really position themselves as a top faction within AEW. And the Undisputed Kingdom delivered on that tonight. One thing I got right tonight, Wardlow winning the 8-man scramble. Wardlow will be getting a world title shot against Samoa Joe in the near future. Undisputed Kingdom represent. Roderick Strong defeats Orange Cassidy in a very good match. A very, very good match. Orange Cassidy always delivered. I said it during my pre-show coverage. He always delivers good wrestling matches. And Roderick Strong one-upped him, won the title, and then we get the return of Kyle O'Reilly with a whole new look, long hair, beard, kind of different type of gear. And they immediately went to go give him the Undisputed Kingdom shirt. He grabbed it in his hand. He looked around at the crowd, and he gave the shirt right back to Roderick, whispered something in Roderick's ear, and then walked away. And now we have a storyline going for the Undisputed Kingdom, even with Adam Cole hurt. We have a world title match for Undisputed Kingdom. We have the international champion in Undisputed Kingdom. They are now very much positioned to be a top-tier faction in AEW. And it was about time, because from World's End to Revolution, there seemed to be a little bit of a malaise, like a pause. They were in neutral, okay? But tonight officially kickstarts the Undisputed Kingdom story in AEW. And I, for one, am looking forward to what's going to happen between Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole. That is going to be one of the more interesting storylines going forward coming out of Revolution. Not to, besides what they're going to do with the tag titles, but I leave that for another day. All right, so then the Continental Championship, Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson. And I voiced my displeasure with Eddie Kingston, but he absolutely delivered tonight. Him and Bryan Danielson put on a very good match. Eddie Kingston got the victory. I am stunned. I am so surprised that Eddie Kingston won this match, but they are continuing to give him the respect that he feels he deserves and that the crowd thinks he deserves. He is very much over in an AEW ring. Very, very much over in an AEW ring. I have the card here. I'm trying to remember everything. And at the end of the match, all Eddie Kingston wanted if he won was a handshake and the respect of Bryan Danielson. And after a little while, not only did Bryan Danielson shake his hand, he raised his hand. He got an Eddie Kingston chant going from the crowd as he left the ring. And then there was immediately a backstage segment. I believe they were both in what looked like a medical room on medical beds, and Bryan Danielson was getting treatment, and Eddie Kingston was just talking to him in a backstage segment about all he really wants in this business. He says titles come and go, but the respect from the boys is what matters most to him. And Bryan Danielson gave him that respect. He wanted a respect from Moxley. He wanted a respect from a few other people. And slowly but surely, Eddie Kingston is checking all the boxes off of all the people he wants respect from, because he already has it from the crowd. Eddie Kingston is so over in AEW. He's a Triple Crown champion, and he must be on to bigger and better things now, okay? Because that was a major victory for him, and he just keeps getting major victories. Won the Continental Classic, won this match. He's in a very good position going forward for AEW. The one match, the main event we talked about, the Christian Cage, Daniel Garcia. Is there nobody who could have helped Daniel Garcia tonight? Does Daniel Garcia have no friends in AEW? Now, he had no shot in that match. Christian Cage walked out with the entire family. Everyone got, QT Marshall, or is it, what's it, Big Daddy, Cash Daddy, Quick Daddy? One of those names. I thought it was QT Marshall. He came out, he tried to help. So Daniel Garcia does have a friend. I do stand corrected, but Christian Cage was definitely going to win that match. He won it. Typical heel Christian Cage. He's still on a tremendous run. No Adam Copeland signing. I guess after his most recent concerto, he needed more time to heal. But we'll expect to see that story pick back up real soon. That was the only match I was really disappointed in. That was a regular wrestling match. I was really disappointed that they didn't give Daniel Garcia a shot at all. Never had a chance in the world in that match. As I said during the pre-show, FTR versus Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli was a typical FTR tag team match. Very good. Dax Harwood was opened. I don't know if he cut himself. I don't know if he was opened hard way, but he was the one man who bled and bled for real tonight. That was a very good match, and I'm really surprised that FTR lost. Really, really surprised that FTR lost this match tonight. I really thought that they were in the need of the big victory on the pay-per-view, much more than Moxley and Castagnoli. But they continue to put over Moxley and Castagnoli as a tag team. I can definitely see them two being in the tag team title hunt after this win. They may shoot up the AEW rankings and be the new number one contenders after this match tonight. And you know, be it as it may, seeing how Sting is still tag champs, I have no idea what's going on with the tag division, but it definitely felt like FTR and Young Bucks should have been the plan, but I guess they have other plans, so I'm excited to see where FTR goes from here, where Moxley and Castagnoli go in the tag division, if this is just a short, brief run that them two are having, or is BCC going to really be a legit in the tag team division? But another excellent wrestling match. Them four put on a great show tonight at Revolution. And I want to talk about the pre-show for a minute because I missed it because I was doing this here, the pre-show coverage, but the 0 in or the 0 hour that AEW did. And Jay White said something in the pre-show that I can't wait to see what he was talking about. He was there. He was hyping up the crowd after they won their match, and the whole Bang Bang Scissor gang was in the ring. And he said that he's going to go to big business and handle some business of his own. So I'm for the love of what, like I said earlier, for the love of what is holy like Swiss cheese, please put Jay White in a prime position post-Revolution. Jay White should not be on a pre-show. I understand that AEW put stars on their pre-show. It's how they help drive last-minute pay-per-view buys. I get it. But when MJF was on the pre-show, he was also in the main event. We cannot have one of the 2 or 3 best wrestlers in the world on the pre-show and not on the main card whatsoever. Could have had a run, could have had something, anything. Give him a job on the pay-per-view. He's too good to just be in an 8-man tag on a pre-show, then cut a promo to hype up the crowd before we go live to the actual pay-per-view. You could have had Max Caster do that. You could have had anyone else do that. Jay White deserves better. Hashtag free Jay White. Let's get it started because he deserves better than what he's getting. And then finally, to the probably the match, arguably the match of the year. Very early on in 2024, like I said during the pre-show, a new era of AEW is here. A complete new era of AEW is here. The question is, who is going to step up and be a part of that new era? And that is the Will Ospreay era. I don't know if AEW is ready for Will Ospreay. I don't know if the wrestlers in AEW, based on what I've seen the last 12 months, is ready for Will Ospreay. That match, absolute 5. Dave Meltzer might give it 8 stars. Dave Meltzer might still be drunk with love over what we just saw in that match tonight. That was a physical, classic wrestling match, which I've never seen forearms thrown that well ever. They beat the shit out of each other tonight, and they put on an absolute show. Takeshita, you are a star. Ospreay, you are a megastar. And they delivered the match of the night, probably the match of the year right now for AEW. Ospreay still has 10 more months to deliver more of these. And like I was talking about in the pre-show, I'm going to say it again. AEW is in a prime position to do something really special in 2024 because all the rumors are Okada's coming this Wednesday. Those are rumors. That's what's going on X right now. Okada as soon as March 6th. Who's next? Oh, look at this Wednesday. Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay on Dynamite. There's another classic. As long as AEW gives him the time, you're going to get that week in and week out. How many people, how many wrestlers in AEW right now can do that with Will Ospreay? We know Kenny can. He's done it twice. We know Okada can. They've done it. Jay White versus Will Ospreay. I don't know if we've ever had a Jay White versus Will Ospreay match. I have to check that out. But they could do it. Bryan Danielson can do it. You can just rotate those guys and everyone would be happy. But who steps up? Because like I said, business is going to pick up. To quote JR again, business is going to pick up in AEW. There's too many top flight people right now. And just because Swerve lost tonight, he's right up there too. Hangman is up there as well. He continues to deliver. And we know what big business is about. It's about Mercedes Moné. We're going to get a returning Britt Baker. And there are more in the women's division coming to AEW. They've put themselves in a very good position post-Revolution, minus the catastrophe that was the main event tonight. And I'm happy for Sting. I'm happy he gets to go out on top. I'm happy that he gets to have the confetti rain down on him with Darby Allin, but not as tag team champions. So I am really excited for what's to come for AEW. I am really excited about Wednesday night to see what's next in AEW. It needs to be a new era for them. Okay? Will Ospreay's here, and based on tonight, he's going to put that whole damn company on his back, and he's like, all right, boys, all right, bruvs, let's do this. Let me show you how to do this, son. And that's what Will Ospreay is bringing. And who's going to keep up with a man like that will be very interesting to see. All right, so this, once again, there is a lot of content coming. Tomorrow night, I'll be live back here, post-show, Monday Night Raw. Tuesday, might be pulling double duty. I'm not sure, trying to get a New Japan Cup preview show up. But if not, we'll definitely be live post NXT Roadblock. Wednesday, we'll be live after Dynamite. And then Friday, we'll be live after another 40-minute Bloodline segment on SmackDown. A very busy week for WrestlePool. This is Mike Hosier, WrestlePool YouTube channel. You can check me out at all forms of social media at MJH_WrestlePool. And this is our first time we were live on 3 platforms tonight. We were live on YouTube, we were live on Twitch, and for the first time, WrestlePool was live on X doing our post-Revolution review. Overall, I give it a solid 7 out of 10 rating. That main event was just a catastrophe. I still can't get over what Darby Allin does. But this is Hosier for WrestlePool. We will see you tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw. Once again, this is WrestlePool for life.